I don't know how many times I've driven down the Lakeroad to go to the monastery. It's been quite a few. I know I've done a lot more push-ups in my life than I've driven this Lakeroad, and there's someone riding my tail very, very close, and that happens a lot on the Lakeroad because, well, Mrgrrr is never, ever, ever in a hurry. One of the things that I have going for me is I am just absolutely legendary good at time management. It's just one of the things that I really, really excel at. Now, I got someone riding my bumper, and that's fine with me. I got plenty of time. I guess that comes with being retired. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Now, I'm on my way to my brother's house today to play some board games. And here goes the guy passing me. You have a nice day, sir. Or ma'am. And before I do that, I'm going to stop at Fishtails like I've done to so many, many, many times. There's a gentleman that works there. He's got his business on Facebook. I'm a big fan of him and his wife, and I hope that they succeed. Every time I go in, though, I don't buy worms or minnows. I buy Kit Kat bars and I buy peanut butter cups. Trying to make the world a little bit better with those because, like I said a million billion times, if you ever take a Kit Kat bar and some peanut butter cups and play the drums with them, your life will never, ever be the same. Now, there's a procession of cars behind me, but we're speeding up to 45 now, so they'll be a little bit happier about that. In the history of Mrgrrr's driving career, he only got one speeding ticket, and I got that not too long ago. I was probably maybe 2 years ago now, and quite honestly, I think I was pulled over just because I had the Mrgrrrr license plate. I'm guessing the cop had to say, all right, who is this guy? Who is this Mrgrrrr? I need to pull him over because I drive like a grandpa. And I got pulled over coming home from work, and instead of taking the Lakeroad, I was going to take the highway. And I always drive in the right lane going to the highway to get back on 41, and a lot of people zoom past me in the other lane, and well, I was the one that got pulled over, and the cop said I was going 9 miles an hour over, I believe, and I didn't really even notice because usually I'm the guy that's going slow. It's because I got all the time in the world. It's because one of the things that I really tried to teach the people that I served at the monastery is, hey, if you learn how to get the most out of your 24 hours in a day, you will be light years ahead of other people. That's just the way it is. Oh, a little deer got run over there. I've hit 2 deer on the Lakeroad, so hopefully this isn't a bad omen and I strike deer number 3 and catch it on camera, because the reality is, and I've talked over this with my wife many times, is that in the near future there is going to be a camera probably right about here in Mrgrrr's Mrgrrrr mobile. If I am transporting people to church, to their doctor appointment, doing these things that I want to do for kindness has no limits, yeah, you know, I gotta kind of have a camera going to make sure that, hey, everything's on the up and up, and more importantly, that I'm not taking any money. Because like if a little old lady says, oh, here, young man, take this $20 for being such a good man. Well, I can't do that because a nonprofit isn't about making money. It's about making a difference. So I like to think that's what's more important. You know, if Director Blossom gave me a call tomorrow and said, Mrgrrr, how would you like to be a volunteer employee at the monastery? I'd be like, Blossom, sign me up. I'd be there. I'd sign a waiver. Man, it's a dangerous, dangerous job. No doubt. Like, you have no idea how dangerous that job is. Dealing with mentally ill people, you never know what's going to happen. But in my experience, is even the most psychotic, even the most paranoid, even the most delusional human being understands the language of true kindness. They see that. And the only person that really has a problem with the language of kindness is someone that's just absolutely 100% fluent in the language of cruelty. So those people are very, very, very rare in the world. I've met a few. But we're coming up on Atlas. Man, I love that Atlas statue. It used to have, you know, a very symbolic meaning for me. Is like, hey, you know, the people that are really gifted in the world carry a burden, because they're like, well, what do I do with the gifts that God made me or gave me? So, but now I can kind of just chuckle and say, hey, you know what? That's passed on to another generation now. My kid sister is as equally brilliant as any human being has ever been in the history of the world. And she has an adorable little guy named Atlas. And I have no doubt, because of him having an amazingly good, healthy, strong, miraculous upbringing full of love, he's going to be an amazing guy and make the world a better place. His origin story is going to be a lot different than that of old crazy Uncle Grrr. But speaking of which, old crazy Uncle Grrr is coming up on fishtails. So I'm going to put on my blinker, turn into the bait shop, talk a little bit about fish stories, more importantly, see if there is a Kit Kat bar and a Reese's peanut butter cup for sale. And I got a couple of questions to ask. Everybody loves a good fishtail.